Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning really Tuesday, the 5th of September, and ending Friday, the 8th, 2017. It's a Labor Day weekend. Markets are closed on Monday. Hope you've had a good month of August as it's done now. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the ES in broad market form. We've climbed back up near highs. But again, I want to say, we were at 2,400 as a high back in March, and we're at 2,473. We did some math in the room the other day. I mean, the markets are up 2 point something percent in 6 months. This has not been a big up run in the markets as a broad market. Looks good for a couple of the indices. Certainly looks good for the top 5 tech stocks. But overall, this is not really a big run. We've been stuck. We've been flat. We've had a lot of days that were uneventful. We've had to fight, but we're doing well. And that's what we're going to keep doing. Hopefully things start to shake out. September and October tend to be great times for trading the markets, and we are ready to go. Let's go through some of the major indices and then see what else we have from an intra-week perspective, and then look at the data for this next week. So here's the crude oil, 47.29. That's up 6 cents on Friday. Gold up $8.20. S&P cash index closed up $4.90 on Friday. There was a small gap up, and it basically held. The NASDAQ 100 down 0.7, not even a point. And by the way, remember, we have a 13 seeker sell signal as of Thursday on the NDI, or as of Wednesday even. So we're under the risk line of that. But that's to be the interesting point here. Do we actually get a move down off of this 13 sell signal on the NDX? SOX gains 5, not a big deal. Biotech's up 25. That's new closing highs on the biotechs. The VIX slipped back down to 1013. Below the last month, basically. We'd spiked up. Now we're coming back. The trend closes at 0.74. That brings the 10-day moving average down to 1.05 as we dropped off a big number 11 days back in the count. 1.4 billion shares is the volume on Friday. It's been a light 2 weeks, and that's normal for the last 2 weeks of August. Basically the biggest summer vacation 2 weeks of the year. And usually that picks up. Let's go back and look, actually, if you scan back here and you take a look, the last couple weeks of August last year were light. September comes along and suddenly, boom, right back to it. So just let's be aware of that. October actually had some light volume days last year, but that's not normal. Usually it's September, October, and the rest of the year good. So this is where we want to be involved in the markets. We want to see that volatility index rise. We want to get back to work. Advanced decline ratio on Friday when nobody was around, plus 1,000 on the NASDAQ. Who cares? Plus 1164 on the New York. Who cares? Google closes down $3.25. Who cares? Apple up 5 cents. Who cares? Let's see what happens on a Friday leading into Labor Day weekend. Amazon down 235. That's a blip for Amazon. Talk about blips. Netflix up 3 cents on $174 stock that usually swings around. Tesla down 50 cents. Again, nobody was here on Friday. The TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down $1.24, and Goldman Sachs up 214, still in this weird range it's been in. So let's take a look at the front month futures contract. Let's go to 10-minute candles. Let's analyze what happened this week. So Monday was a little gap up, filled in dead flat. Tuesday, gap down, came back up, mostly flat, gained a couple points late in the day. And then Wednesday, flat opening, steady climb. Thursday, gap up and mostly flat, gained a couple points late in the day, but we never filled the gap. Friday, gap up, never filled the gap on the ES. And then look at that, dead flat in the afternoon. Nobody was around, of course. Here's the NASDAQ side. Monday, dead. Tuesday, gap down and filled. Wednesday, a run. Thursday never filled the gap. Friday we did fill the gap, but dead flat. Most of, like we said, this is what we talk about when we say coming into the week last week. Remember, Thursday was the end of the month. They're probably going to leave at lunchtime on Thursday, let the statements print, and they're gone for the long weekend. So take a good look at this. Look what happens on Thursday at lunch. When you enter Thursday's lunchtime on the NASDAQ here, dead flat the rest of the day. Friday, a little wiggle early, but then dead flat. I mean, talk about them leaving Thursday at lunch. This is why we try to guide people on this stuff, because no point in trading when the big boys are gone. So that's very important. I think what we said is what happened, and right on the money. All right, let's take a look at the economic data coming out this week. Sorry, let me slide this over where you can actually see it properly. So we've got Monday, international trade in goods. Tuesday, also Monday, retail inventories, wholesale inventories, Dallas Fed meeting, and then there's some bond stuff in the afternoon. Tuesday, we've got and that's, by the way, Monday when the markets, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong. That's why that doesn't make sense. Monday, the markets are closed. Tuesday, here we go. This is this week. Factory orders 30 minutes into the market on Tuesday, and a bunch of stuff we don't really care about after that. Wednesday, MBA mortgage applications at 7 a.m., International Trading Goods at 8:30, Red Book at 8:55, PMI Services Index at 9:45, ISM Non-Manufacturing Index at 10, Beige Book at 2. Thursday, jobless claims, that's the weekly initial and continuing productivity. Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index at 9:45. Natty gas at 10, oil inventories at 11, some bond stuff, and then the treasury strips and everything else that doesn't matter to us. And then Friday, wholesale trade and consumer credit in the afternoon. That is all. So it's not a big week for economic data. There are some rate announcements around the world, but those are not going to be here. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading first week of September, and let's hope it picks up.